Welcome back to Is It Still Good, the channel that's keeping the great old films alive. I'm really happy. Been watching a lot of good movies lately. We got a new format. What did you think of that red hot fire intro? Wait till you see the outro. Even better. And I got a new ad for me books, which I'm going to show you guys right now. What'd you think of that ad? That's pretty cool too. I think that's a little bit more me, right? The last ad was good, but this one's like more like bard music, makes more sense, and I like the colors. Goes with my books. Anyway, Office Space. What's the deal with Office Space? Well, I'll tell you what the deal is. It's an awesome movie. I did make a list. I had an old video up that I took down. This is kind of like a remake, and we're not going to do it the same way this time. But I did say 10 reasons why you need to watch Office Space. That was the old video. This time we're just going to do a straight review. Okay? Let's get into it. Office Space, 1999 comedy written by Mike Judge, runs 1 hour, 29 minutes. And the tagline is "Work sucks." I get it. It certainly does. It stars Ron Livingston, Jennifer Aniston, David Herman as Michael Bolton, and a bunch of other people. The budget was $10 million, and in the box office it made $12.2. You know? So here's the 10 reasons that I had. I said it was relatable. Soulless, crappy job. We've all had one of those. Cheating girl. We've all been through that. Evil boss. We've all been through that. Right? So I think it's very relatable. That's kind of the appeal to this movie. Now, it's very dated. All its computer stuff is very dated. None of it holds up. Anyway, I think this movie was kind of groundbreaking in the way that it addressed lack of motivation in the workplace. That's my number 2 reason to watch it. Okay, I'm not going to do the big list for you guys, but this is going off the old notes. I mean, that's a big deal. Like, think about that. If you're a business owner and you have somebody working for you, why should they care? Why should they care? Oh, well, because they showed up and I'm giving them a paycheck. Great. But what if there are a lot of places giving the same kind of paycheck, you know, for the same amount of work? And or what if they're being paid better elsewhere? Well, now, are they supposed to care if pay is their reason? So you have to, as an employer, really look at why somebody would go the extra mile for you. And I think in order to get that kind of loyalty out of your employees, you got to go the extra mile for them. This movie really portrays that well. Like, these bosses are scumbags, and they're stupid, and they're detached, and they're annoying, okay? And they're redundant. There's too many of them. All these guys work their way up the ladder to this spot where they get to dictate what happens to 4 to 12 people directly underneath them, as they put it. You know, it's goofy. The number 3 reason I had to watch Office Space was that it has excellent writing, and that's true. I love the dialogue in this movie. It's hilarious. The scenes are hilarious. The acting is really good too. We're going to get into that. Number 3, excellent writing, great dialogue, hilarious, has a good point, a clear message. I dig it. I think this is like Mike Judge's finest piece. So 4, the pacing is perfect. It is. It just moves along really well. Each scene informs the next. It's great. That's number 4. Number 5, every scene makes me smile. That's true. There's something in every scene in this movie that makes me smile. I really love this movie a lot. 6, the performances are on point. They certainly are. Everybody's really memorable. Hell, I saw that one lady who says, "Somebody's got a case of pneumonia." She's still doing commercials and stuff. Like, what the hell? She's still getting work out of that? As the same character. So, tell me this movie doesn't have staying power if that chick's still working. Okay, no offense to her, but still. Reason number 7. This movie changed my perception of jobs in general. Really made me take a hard look at what I wanted in a job, and or if I was going to be a business owner, what type of work environment I was trying to create for my employees. Really good with that. And this is a movie I saw when I was much younger. Obviously, this came out when I was 19, so whatever. I was born in 80. Number 8, there's early 90s hip-hop throughout the whole movie. It's perfectly placed. It kills. It's like its own character. You know, the music in this movie really sells all the humor. I love it. It shows like the corporate world structure as in contrast to, you know, gangsta life. I love it. I love the beatdown of the printer. There's a beatdown of the printer that's been giving them a hard time throughout the film. It's just one of my favorite scenes. Like, it's just so well done. I mean, it really does resemble a gang beatdown in many, many ways. 9, there was no sequel or remake. I love that. 9, there was no sequel or remake. Think about that, guys. No sequel to Office Space. I know they were trying to get it done. I'm so glad they didn't. And then number 10, this movie is lighthearted. It is lighthearted enough to escape into, to have a good time with. Office Space is always good for a laugh. You're always going to have a good time with Office Space. It's like an old friend. You know, this movie ages really, really well. I loved it. As far as trivia, I saw they had to make the red stapler John C. McGinley, who plays Bob Slidell, blamed the poster for lack of sales because Milton looked like Big Bird. They put Milton in all these like Post-it stamps, and McGinley said that really screwed him. And he was probably right as far as like the box office. It just looked silly. It was a weird cover that they picked. Milton was based on a real dude. Mike Judge turned down Office Space 2, and thank you, Mike Judge, for not being a greedy bastard and just doing another cash run and leaving us this gem that never, ever, ever gets old. You know, if he would have made 2, 3, 4, you know, look at like Kevin Smith and Clerks. Like, I don't care about Clerks anymore. No offense to anybody, but like, there's Clerks, maybe a Clerks 2, maybe some Mallrats stuff going on, right? Then after that, I was just kind of like, okay. I don't know. And Dogma. I think I like Dogma too. But Initech is a square peg in a round hole. That's the fixture in the front to kind of encapsulate the vibe of the movie, what it's about. Loosely based on a Herman Melville short story. Peter lives in Morningwood Apartments. I just noticed that this time. Mike Judge plays Jennifer Aniston's boss. He's pretty hilarious in it too. You might remember him from chastising her for her lack of flair, as he put it. But that's about it, guys. IMDb give it 7.7 out of 10. I'd say it's a little higher than that. I would give it 8.5 out of 10 for me anyway. I love it. I mean, I celebrate this movie's entire catalog. For my money, I just don't think it gets any better than when he sings When a Man Loves Office Space, which I do. It's a great movie. It's really, really fun. 8.5 out of 10. 9 if you're like me and you're like just huge into comedy. If you're above 35, most of this is going to land with you. You're going to get it. If you're below 35, haha, look at that computer. Haha, look at that cell phone. Ha ha, ha ha. But for those of us that remember it all, this was about right. If you ever worked in a restaurant too, this movie kind of makes the movie waiting a bit redundant as well, because Jennifer Aniston's character pretty much covers the restaurant experience as well, at least in that genre of restaurant, that kind of class of TGIFs, Applebee's, those kind of places. So anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't care. I'm just saying, this movie's pretty good. I still give it at least an 8.5 out of 10. I think that's very fair. This is Office Space, man. This is a great freaking movie. Go out and watch it. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. I think next up, I'm going to do something with like Lost Highway. I did mention Poltergeist. Someone pointed that out to me recently. I never made that one, so that's going to happen. I'm doing a big thing for Troy and The Crow. This is all coming up. Consider our Patreon page, guys. We're going to give you first crack at everything. For right now, it's about assembling you guys, and there are some rewards up there now, but we're going to be adding new stuff there all the time as incentive for you to go over there. You can sign up for as little as $1 a month on patreon.com/isitstillgood. And that would help us get these things out. Other than that, I'm very, very excited with the new format. And let's take a look at this new schmeckshy outro. And I'll see you guys next time on Is It Still Good?
Ha 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 ha!